Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to Closet Confections. I'm your host, Kendra, and today we're going to be talking about fashion faux pas. Yes, fashion mistakes that I do not want to see you make this winter. So before I start, just a little caveat. I am one of those people who believes that there really aren't any rules, quote unquote, when it comes to fashion. So these are not in any way meant to say that you can't do this, even though you shouldn't. You know, most importantly, wear what makes you feel confident and happy, like bottom line. So if I list something here and you're like, whatever, but I actually, you know what? I feel like this list isn't like that. I feel like you're going to agree with like at least 90% of what I have to say. So without further ado, let's get into it. All right, so fashion mistake number one that I do not want to see you lovely people make is not removing that stitch in the back of your coat vent. Oh my goodness, I've seen so many stylish, well-dressed people walking around the city, and then they turn around or they walk away, and then you see this big X at the bottom of their jacket. It's a big X for a reason, because it's a big no-no. Definitely remove that stitch. I think it's called like a tacking stitch, and it's just to keep the vent closed so that when they're shipping the garment to the store, that it stays in place. So once you get it home, you should remove it. It helps the coat to move better. It gives you more freedom of movement in your legs, and it just looks really tacky to have it there. There was a picture of Meghan Markle, and I mean, props to girlfriend for snagging her at Prince, so you know, whatever. But yeah, she made this big fashion faux pas. Now I don't know why they did my girl Megan so dirty, because I know that they have tons of people who probably could have seen that on the way out, so I would say that someone was hating. And I'm sure she has a lot of other things and busy stuff that whatever royals do, but in any case, do not get caught out there this winter with that stitch in the back of your coat. Just don't do it. And on a related note, let's get to fashion mistake number two, and that is leaving those little temporary belt loops on the sides of your dress. So this one doesn't just apply in winter, this goes all year round. Those little pieces of string, you know, that keep the belt in place and help it hang nicely in the store, and then you get home and inevitably they pop off at some point. That's because they're supposed to be temporary. You really don't need them. If the belt fits well, then you shouldn't need those little loops. So as soon as I get home, I usually take those little loops and just snip them off. And also for me, because I'm 5'7", so I'm tall, but I have a short torso. I'm actually like petite portions up top. So the belt loops never hit me in the right place anyway. And also too, if you're like me, curvy and a little fuller figured, I'm trying to reduce the amount of inches in my waist area as much as possible. So visually, those little extra belt loops just create like width and girth where you really don't want it or don't need it. So yes, go ahead and just snip away those little temporary belt loops that were gonna fall off anyway. Okay, so fashion mistake number three. I had to take a sip for this one. My biggest pet peeve is sweater pills. Oh my gosh. There is no quicker way to ruin and cheapen an outfit than to have those little balls of nasty fabric hanging off your beautiful sweater and even sometimes coats. So I know in an ideal world we would be draped in the finest cashmere and be wearing 100% camel wool coats. But you know, not all of us got it like that, myself included. And you know, I'm very guilty of it. I have several acrylic sweaters in my rotation. You know, what are you gonna do? But there's no reason to be walking around with those sweater pills. So I have tried all types of tips and tricks over the years. I even bought one of those electric sweater shavers to get rid of it. But what I found is you don't really need that. All you really need is this, a disposable razor. This is your best friend when it comes to the winter months. So what you want to do is just take your sweater or your jacket and lay it down flat on a, smooth surface, and just gently, because you don't want to poke a hole in your sweater. Just gently shave the sweater and then take one of those sticky lint rollers and just go over it to remove the sweater pills. And there you go. Which brings me to fashion faux pas number 4, a linty coat. Now, don't be walking around this winter with cat fur, dog fur, whatever, your hair, everything all over your coat, Cheeto dust, whatever. Go ahead and get you a fabric brush, get you a lint roller, leave it by the front door, have it next to a mirror so you give yourself the once over before you leave the house, and get rid of all of that. I just think that you guys deserve better than to be walking around with lint all over yourselves. I care about you guys, so don't do it. Just don't do it. And while we're on the topic of coats, my fashion mistake number 5 that I do not want to see you guys commit this winter is having an awkward coat length. So this one is one that I see a lot of ladies make, especially when it comes to evening wear. So, you know, we're coming up into the holidays. You got the Christmas party, you got New Year's Eve, you got your freakum dress on, your cocktail dress, your evening gown, whatever you have. And you've taken so much time and care to prep your party look, and then you just throw on, you know, a North Face or some big bubble jacket, and you don't pay attention to how it goes with your outfit, or how specifically how it matches with your hemline. So I literally have seen women wearing, like, you know, a ankle length or floor length ball gown, and then they'll have on like a walking coat that comes like right to their knees, and it just looks weird. Now, etiquette rules, like I said, I'm definitely not one that thinks that you have to follow fashion rules, definitely not. But this one, I kind of agree with, you know, tradition, where your coat should be the same length or maybe a little bit longer than your hemline. I've heard people say that if your coat is longer than your dress, it makes you look like you don't have anything on underneath. And I'm like, you know, whatever. There's nothing wrong with being a little bit saucy and leaving something to the imagination. I'm fine with that. But what I don't like is when you have like this much of a gap between the length of your coat. So definitely, if you can, invest in like a maxi coat. So it's in storage now, but I definitely have a long, almost floor length maxi coat with the fur collar that anytime I'm going out to something fancy, as I like to call it, that's the coat that I will reach for in the winter time, because I know there's not going to be any issue with my hemlines. If you don't want to go with a floor length coat to go with an evening gown, you can also go shorter. So go with like a cropped, like a faux fur chubby that comes like right at your waist. It's cute. You can do that. Like that I think looks okay. But you don't want to be walking around with like your North Face, or what's that jacket, Canada Goose jacket, and like a cocktail dress. It just looks awkward. Like, people, when you come into a party, you make an entrance, people will see you. You want to look fabulous on your way to the event, during the event, and after the event. So go ahead and make sure that your coat matches your dress length, your hemline. Okay? Okay. Fashion mistake number 6. This one just hurts my heart when I see it. As a shoe person, there is nothing that I hate seeing more than the little stickers at the bottom of your sole. For the love of everything that is good and righteous and chic, please, please, please remove the sticker from the bottom of your shoe. I love a good bargain as much as the next person, but everybody ain't gotta know how much you saved on that pair of shoes from Nordstrom's rack. Fashion mistake number 7 brings us back to coats. And this is a big one. Ladies, hear me out. If your coat doesn't fit, you must quit wearing it. Please. And, you know, I can totally relate to having, you know, coats that fit last year, you go to try it on this year, and it doesn't fit. I recently had a baby, and I know all about their things just kind of like shifted around in my body. This whole area is a lot more buxom than it used to be. So I get it. I have coats that I just can't quite button the same way I used to. So you know what? You take that coat you set it aside, put it in the back of the closet, put it in your storage unit, whatever you have to do, and maybe revisit it next year. You know, I'm a work in progress. I'm still trying to get my waistline back to what it used to be, if not better. But in any case, make sure your coat fits. So luckily this season, oversized coats seem to be the style and they are very in fashion. So I used to like a very tailored look, but I'm really into this oversized coat moment that we're having right now because I can layer underneath and I don't have to worry about, you know, coats being too tight in the arms, being too tight across, especially as black girls, being too tight across the butt. This is an issue that a lot of coats have. So just make sure that you do the 360 in the mirror, check out the front and the back, and just make sure nothing's not pulling or straining. And yeah, you will just be more comfortable, more confident. I think I want us all to be confident in our clothes. So yeah, just make sure that your jacket's fit. All right, fashion mistake number 8. As a shoe girl, again, this is another one that like hurts my heart, but not weather treating your shoes. Come on, ladies. If you're like me and you like to invest in your footwear and you have nice leather and nice suede shoes, please, please, please go out and get some waterproofing spray or weather treatment. You can even take them to your local cobbler and they can do it for you. But yes, weather treat your shoes. You can also get those little rubber soles like the Vibram soles or even a lug sole, like something with traction on it, and put it at the bottom of your boots just to make sure that they don't get damaged and that you don't go slipping and sliding all over the ice and snow. And just a quick little off tangent story time. Uggs. I am always so shocked at how many people I see wearing Uggs like out in the rain and they get like nasty and soaked. To be quite honest, they kind of smell bad when they get wet like that. I was in a fitting room once and the woman next to me, when she took off her soaking wet Uggs, like the whole fitting room was rank. Like the sales associate had to come and kind of Febreze the whole area. It was that bad. So yeah, don't be like her. On the topic of shoes, fashion mistake number 9 is not investing in a proper pair of winter boots. This one, especially if you're like me and live in the Northeast or a place that gets snow in the winter time, get some winter boots. Get some winter boots. I see people out here wearing sneakers in the snow and I just feel like I just turned into my mom or grandma and like, what is wrong with you? Get you a pair of winter boots. So I really love the Sorel brand. Even if you got a pair of like bean boots, I know for a while, a couple of winters, there's been like a bean boot shortage. So get you a pair of boots, even if you got a pair of hunter boots and got the little fleece liner that you stick down into there, but make sure you get proper winter boots, okay? Okay, all right, so my last fashion mistake, number 10, that I do not want you to fall into this rut this winter, and that's just wearing only dark colors. I know the weather's dreary and drab. We only get like an hour of sunlight in some parts of the country, and it's easy to fall into a style rut. It's easy to fall into that, just wearing all black or just, you know, dreary, drab browns and grays and whatnot, and I get it. But please, don't do that to yourself. At a minimum, invest in a nice, bright, colorful scarf. Even throw on some red lipstick. Get those winter boots in maybe a cherry red or a bright yellow. Just something to bring some sunshine into these cold, dark winter months. So yes, if you checked out my winter coats video, you saw that one of my tips was getting a nice bright color. So that bright pink jacket, if you follow me on Instagram, you've seen me wear recently. I love that coat. And it makes me feel so happy when I throw it on, even when the weather's nasty. It's amazing the effect that, you know, color has on our moods. And also too, I find when I wear color in the winter, not only makes me happy, it makes other people happy too. Or at least I like to think so. All right, guys, that concludes my top 10 list of fashion mistakes that I do not want to see you make this winter. If there's anything that I forgot on this list, please let me know down in the comments. And if there's something that you disagree with, even though I don't really know how you could. But seriously, I'm always up for a healthy debate, so please let me know that too down in the comments. And if you haven't already, give this video a thumbs up and let me know that you enjoyed it. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel and sign up for those notifications to know whenever I'm coming out with a new video. And until next time, stay classy and stay fabulous.